Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome back. Peace and love, and all of that, all of the above. Yeah, so I have my little bundle here. That I love. In it, I have some white sage and a little mugwort. I didn't buy this anywhere. I harvested the white sage and the mugwort myself. The white sage plant is one. It's actually in this space that I'm in. It's on the other side. But I have been building a relationship with that sage plant for almost 3 years. So like we're cool, and every time I come see the plant, it's not always to harvest, but that time of year when the sage is ready to harvest, the plant it always tells me, it has never once told me not to harvest, and it always tells me to take as much as I need, to, of course, not take more than what I need, but to help myself, because, like, we're just cool like that. I always give offerings, I always speak, I always, give some sort of offering, some sort of offering. So it might be like other dried herbs that I have harvested in other places. It might be some tobacco. It might be a song. It might be like a different kind of smudge or a combination of all of those. So I just say all that to say, I know white sage is super endangered in the wild, and greedy corporations don't give a fuck about that. They just, are capitalizing off of the fact that everyone wants to be spiritual and, like, burn sage. But it's a sacred plant. All plants are sacred, and they need to be treated with respect and reverence, and we need to kneel down to them because they are our ancestors. They have stories to tell us, but too much of humanity is not humble enough to sit still and receive the stories. That's a whole nother conversation, but I love mugwort. I'm in California. The California mugwort, it's really magical how I met that plant the first time, and it's definitely one of my spirit plants, like it's ancestral, and I mean, I can't tell you how, but it's like when you meet someone and you just, like, look at them and you've known them before, like, that's how it was with mugwort. Like, I was meeting an old friend from lifetimes ago. So, anyway. Woo, something just went down my back. What was that? A leaf, I hope. Okay, so I'm sitting here with the cedar tree, who I love, and I love that when I'm here, like, in the fold of it. Oh my gosh, there's 2 birds, like, jumping around and playing over there. I love that I feel like I'm in a whole other world. I mean, that's everywhere in nature, but, under the cedar, it's a different kind of energy. But it's definitely like you're somewhere else, And so what I did today, I was inspired by someone else. I put a ring of salt around where I would be spending time with the cedar, and it feels really good here today. So, okay, it's doing its thing. So yeah, what I want to talk about today is that super intense full moon that we had. I'm trying to get the sun. That super intense full moon we had a few days ago. And, like, I did a whole card reading, but when it came time to edit the video, I had a lot of technical difficulties, and I wasn't able to do that for y'all. So sorry, but I realized there was a reason for that. Okay. I realized that there was a reason for why I wasn't able to edit the video and get it posted. And I realized that it's because there's a hummingbird right there. Hummingbirds are one of my spirit animals. And that's the second one that's come to me today since I've been here. And I've only been here about 20 minutes. So that's dope. I love them so much. I've always loved hummingbirds, even since when I was a child. And I think it's because they're kind of like fairy birds or something. And my first imaginary, quote, friend as a child was a fairy. So, you know, me and fairies, like, those are my homies. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The reason why I could not upload the video was because I was not qualified. You know, I did this reading, and so what happened was I did a reading for myself the night before. The next day I did a reading that I was like, okay, this is going to be like for Instagram and YouTube, like for the family, like for the community outside of me, like for everyone else. But the reading I had done the night before was super like eye-opening, and then the one that I did that day was even more eye-opening, and like it just showed me a lot about my own self. And I was like, I realized that reading was it was for me just as much as it was for everyone else. But it showed me that like I have a lot of work I need to do on myself before I'm out here trying to, you know, give readings and like teach anybody anything. Like I needed to do that reading in regard to myself and then share with you all what I learned, you know. And then that's how I shared. That's how I don't even want to say teach, because I'm not a teacher. I'm a student. But that's why the video didn't work. So I pulled a lot of cards. I don't have them with me today, so I can't show you them. But the gist of the message was, one, to shed the masks that we have created. A lot of times there's more than one. I know I catch myself, you know, wearing different faces when I'm in different situations. But to shed them all and just be you authentically, and the people who need you and love you, like really love you, will show up. They'll make themselves known. And the situations that are healthy and conducive to who you truly are will show up as well, and everything else will fall to the wayside. And out of that, you know, tap into your creativity, like, because it's like after you shed all of those faces, then the real you is just here. And then, you know, it allows you to become like this conduit for the divine to flow more freely, so you'll naturally be more creative. And there's infinite amount of ways to be creative, so it's gonna look different for everyone, but it's just kind of like taking whatever gifts were given to you and bringing them out in a way that only you can, and not comparing yourself to others. In that whole process, you know, when it comes to creating and taking off your faces, the many, you know, artificial faces, not comparing yourself to other people. And from all of that, the abundance that you seek will find you if you do all of those things first. So that was like the message of the reading. And then I also have a goddess oracle deck, so I pulled a card. The goddess's name was Amaterasu, I believe, but I was going more off the imagery. She had like solar rays behind her. There were bees, a lot of yellow. So it reminded me of Oshun. So those of you who work with the Orisha, you know, you can kind of interpret that how you will. But I was a little more focused on the imagery, the colors, the yellow, the sacral chakra is what came to me. As far as like being that seat of creativity, one of the seats of creativity where like our soul, like our light beams from. But for a lot of us, me included, You know, we have a lot of emotional baggage and gunk that we hold in our solar plexus. Emotional, but also physical, because of the foods that we're eating. Or, you know, the foods we're not eating the right foods. And so, I'll just give you a little view of the tree. And so, that was like a big thing that I took from it, is like, it's time to cleanse, y'all. Like, I know it feels counterintuitive because it's fall and like winter's coming and we're supposed to eat heavy to stay grounded, but like, seriously, I'm not saying to fast and like don't eat, but like add more healthy rituals into your routine every day. So me personally, I'm like, I want to start making a juice every day. That's something that I used to do, but I haven't been ritualistic about it as much as I should be, and my body needs me to be. So I'm like, I want to start making a juice every day, and I want to start doing a little bit, some form of cardio and like stretching or yoga every day. And I want to cleanse and purge because, you know, going back to my childhood, and I'm sure we all have ish from our childhood, but I just realized that I have a lot of emotional baggage and confusion from my childhood, not and there there's a lot that I need to purge and cleanse, and I realize I'm holding a lot of that emotion in my gut because of the foods. And I have dealt with a candida imbalance in my body for as early as I can remember. So there's that going on in my gut, and then there's also the like the energetic side of that, the emotions, you know, and it's all in my gut. But then I have like pains. I have a lot of pain in my body too, like in my hips and my back and my legs, and I'm realizing it's all kind of centered around my womb as well as my gut. And so I need to purge. I really need to purge and cleanse. And I know that in the midst of doing that, I will be feeling a lot of emotions. It'll be scary. And I'm sure a lot of my, like, quote unquote, like, demons will come to the surface for me to face them, like doing the shadow work, you know. So that's what I wanted to share with y'all. You know, it's like, I don't have all the answers. You know, I'm trying to figure out still my purpose here. You know, why I chose to come back to the earth here. You know, what's my purpose? Like, what message do I have? What do I have to share? And I'm getting there. I'm figuring it out. But I know that once I get through this process of purging myself emotionally and physically, that things will become more clear for me. So I figure I'm not the only one going through something like this. So I just wanted to share that because it can help someone else. You know, because we're all living in this earth body together. You know, we're all having this human experience together. And, you know, like, we're all puzzle pieces of the Creator. So, you know, we feel similar things, even if, you know, it's not exactly the same. They're similar. So, that's what I have for y'all. You know, it was something else I wanted to add. Well, maybe in another video because it's not coming to me now. But, yeah, so take that, digest it, you know, see however it feels for you. See what resonates and what doesn't. Whatever doesn't, you know, just let it fall to the side. But this is my experience right now. And I feel like we should share, you know, what we're going through, because you just never know. It might be one other person who is feeling something similar but is afraid to talk about it, or, you know, doesn't feel safe enough to talk about it. So it's like, at least if you are someone who feels safe enough to express what you're going through and you share it, it can really help someone else who's going through something similar to realize, like, they're not alone. You know, because that isolation in the midst of, you know, of darkness could make the dark feel scary. You know, but it's like, if you know you're not isolated, it's like other people who are in the dark too could be beacons of light for you. And then, you know, we all find each other, and then we illuminate the dark. So, yeah. I'm going to give y'all one last view of this beautiful, loving Grandma Cedar, who I just love her dearly. And there's a bird there. I don't know if you can see it yet. Came to say bye to y'all. But I'm gonna get out of here. I brought my guitar with me. I'm gonna, just play and chill out and enjoy my alone time without my little baby girl. Because I don't know how long it's gonna last. So yeah. Go in peace and in love. And know you're not alone. And, you can face those demons. Like, shine the light on them and then they burn up. But sometimes it's not easy to shine that light on them. But you're not alone. And we got this. So until next time, peace and love. And I'll talk to y'all soon. All right.